All right, so all the fuses were good in the dash. So I went ahead and pulled the speedo apart. I just took a heat gun, separated the glue, pulled this out. And if you look inside of here, pull that off. You can see that I had another picture, but there's a whole bunch of corrosion across there. You can see corrosion up here. I took and cleaned it all up and put contact cleaner on it, but you can see there's been water ingress in here. The motor does still spin a little bit for the speedo, but none of the lights work. I think it's $280 for this, which stinks because it seems like such a simple little part. But I couldn't bring it back to life. I figured once I cleaned the corrosion off and with a toothbrush I could have got it, but nothing. Either a diode or resistor's bad in here. So I guess I'll have to purchase that, which $280, but it'll help on the resale value on it. But at least I pulled it apart. I also went and jacked it up because I couldn't hear the four-wheel drive actuator kicking in or out, but it does work. It has to be running and in drive, and you click the switch and it does engage the four-wheel drive and unengage. So that's a good thing. So we're about to pull this motor out. I'm going to pull the plastics off so it makes it easier, pull the fuel tank, all that stuff. And we will time lapse all that, but I want to pull it out because I'm going to leave tomorrow to go on a little vacation, and I want to order the parts so I have them when I get back. It looks like a one-piece crank and rod, so I'm probably not going to mess with that because it's really not that bad of a noise. But I'll inspect it when I pull it apart. But I want to order an oil pan. I want to order a speedo and this back plastic piece. It's $130. But as you could tell off the jack, it's bent to the right. So I think if I pull it all apart and unbend it, get a piece of plastic, so I might have like $500 into it, and hopefully that'll be 100%. You know, it's got its cracks and stuff in the plastics, but I mean 2016, we'll put it up for sale and see if we can sell it. But let's do a time lapse. I'm going to yank this motor out, see how long it takes me, pull the plastics off, and but she still runs and drives fine. I mean, she starts right up. I can't, you know, starts right up, and there's really no noise out of the motor. So we'll go ahead and pull her out and see what we can do here. All right, so we have it out. What time is it here? It is, shoot, I got it out in less than an hour, so that's not too bad. Would have been easier if I could have pulled the clutch off, but of course you need a special tool, but I got it out anyways, just left the clutch on there. But you can see this is raised up and been rubbing, so I'm gonna hit that back down, and I'll check that rear motor mount there that's attached to make sure it's not sagging because of that. Looks a little worn. Might need a new rear motor mount too. See how much those cost. But if you look here, I can do this without making too big of a mess like I already have. I didn't drain the oil, which I should have. I left the clutch on. I don't want to move it that far. There we go. So you can see the bottom here. That rubbed on the frame, rubbed all the way through. That's my oil leak there. So I'm going to drain the oil and then check my rod clearances or see if I can feel any movement down in there. But it ain't bad for an hour. It's putting it back together is the hard part. But once I pull the oil pan, I'll do an update, see what I see inside. All right, so this is what we got. I spun it over, looked inside. There's very little, if any, side-to-side play, and there's no up and down play. So maybe that's just how the motor sounds when it warms up. That's what I'm guessing. It's not loud. It's just maybe Polaris sound. But here's the oil pan. It's paper thin right there. You can hear it. It sounds like paper. So that's where our leak was. So I get an oil pan, get a speedo, maybe a rear CV axle because I heard it clicking. That doesn't look too bad to replace. And then what else? Oil pan, speedo, CV axle, and then this plastic piece, because that really what holds it all together. It's kind of a weird setup. I think there's only 2 bolts on the rear that holds that whole thing up, so if you sit on it, it kind of flexes everything. But got a pile of parts here. Got an empty 4-wheeler. Fuse box cover. Got to get that too. But I think that's good for today. I'm not going to do much more. It's 2 hours of work. We'll roll her off to the side here, clean, put something underneath of it, clean up, and call it good, and order some parts. And when I get all the parts, we'll put them back together and see if we got a good quad. Check back. Welcome back. I finally got all my parts in. Put the new oil pan on. If you remember, the other one was rubbed through. So I got that at Parts Center Nation out in Nebraska. I bought them a couple times. I got a new speedometer odometer from them. Saved some money. Got a new axle too, and a new rear plastic piece. It does have a crack in it, but it said that was in the description, which is fine because mine's all busted up. So that'll be perfect. Probably saved me close to, I don't know, $200-300. Plus they had a 200 or 22% discount on the week of New Year's. So I think $380 in parts, I think it was. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't think I need a time lapse of this, but I'm going to throw this motor in and try to get it running tonight or this afternoon. We'll see what happens. So once I get it back in, I will get back with you. All right, so here we have it. I put it all back together. Put the new CV axle in it. Put the rack on it. Got the speedometer. The used one, so it has 500 hours, but it at least works compared to the old one. And I don't know if I said it, Parts Center Nation got a little discount on it, but should be good to go. The engine still makes a slight little noise to it, but it's not too bad. So I don't know what to do with it. Let me start it here. Hold on. Got a little noise to it, but not. I don't think it's anything to really worry about. Polaris kind of sound clunky anyways, you know. They're not the smoothest running engines. But there we have it. This one's done. I'll clean her up and do the old spit and shine and put her up on Marketplace and see what we get for her. But like I said, I got like $1,400 bucks invested in it. We'll see what happens with it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. I'll go ahead and I'm going to keep buying stuff this year. I'm going to flip a whole bunch and post a lot on YouTube. So keep watching. I didn't want to bore you guys with putting it all back together. You saw me take it apart. It was just in reverse. Nothing exciting happened. So enjoy the new year and keep on watching.